The Philistines and Israelites faced each other across the valley of Elah, two armies ready for war. But the Philistines had a champion, a warrior so terrifying that no Israelite dared face him. For 40 days, this giant had mocked my people and defied me. But I had already chosen the one who would bring him down. His name was Goliath. He stood over 9 feet tall. His armor weighed 125 pounds. The iron point of his spear alone weighed 15 pounds. When he walked, the ground shook. When he spoke, his voice echoed like thunder. And every morning and evening, he issued his challenge. "Choose a man," Goliath bellowed. "Send him to fight me. If he kills me, we will be your servants. But if I kill him, you will be our slaves." He laughed, his voice dripping with contempt. "Where is your God now, Israel? Why doesn't he send someone to face me?" For 40 days, no one answered. Meanwhile, in the hills of Bethlehem, a young shepherd named David tended his father's sheep. He was the youngest of 8 brothers, overlooked by his family, unknown to the world. But I knew him. I had watched him protect his sheep from lions and bears. I had heard him singing psalms under the stars. He was ready. David's father sent him to bring food to his brothers at the battle lines. When David arrived, he heard Goliath's challenge echoing across the valley. He saw the soldiers of Israel running in fear, and something stirred in his heart. Not fear, but righteous anger. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? David's brothers were furious. "Why did you come here?" his oldest brother Eliab demanded. "Who's watching the sheep? I know your pride and wickedness. You just came to watch the battle." But David was not deterred. He kept asking about the giant. Word reached King Saul that someone was willing to fight. David was brought before Saul. "Let no one lose heart," David said. "Your servant will go and fight this Philistine." Saul looked at this young shepherd, barely a man, and shook his head. "You cannot fight him. You are just a boy, and he has been a warrior from his youth." David replied, "Your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a lamb, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the lamb. I have killed both lion and bear. This Philistine will be like one of them, because he has defied the armies of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the lion and the bear will rescue me from this Philistine." Saul finally agreed. "Go," he said, "and the Lord be with you." He offered David his own armor, but it was too heavy, too cumbersome. David was not meant to fight like other warriors. He would fight with the weapons I had given him. David went down to the stream and chose 5 smooth stones. He put them in his shepherd's bag and took his sling in his hand. He did not need an army. He did not need armor. He had something better. He had faith in me, and with faith, even the smallest can defeat the mightiest. When Goliath saw David approaching, he was insulted. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" He cursed David by his gods. "Come here," he sneered, "and I will give your flesh to the birds and the beasts." The giant saw a boy with a stick. He did not see what I saw. David shouted back, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves. For the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." With those words, David ran toward the Philistine battle line. He ran toward the giant, while everyone else ran away. This is what faith looks like. David reached into his bag and took out a stone. He slung it with all his might. The stone flew through the air, guided by my hand. It struck Goliath in the forehead, the one spot unprotected by his armor. The giant's eyes rolled back. He swayed like a tree about to fall. Goliath fell face down on the ground. The earth shook when he landed. The mighty champion of the Philistines, dead. Killed not by a sword, not by a spear, not by a trained warrior, but by a shepherd boy with a stone and unshakable faith. The impossible had happened. David ran and stood over the fallen giant. He drew Goliath's own sword and cut off his head. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they fled in panic. The army of Israel surged forward with a great shout, pursuing their enemies. One boy's faith had turned the tide of war. The women came out, dancing and singing. Saul has slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands. The shepherd boy became a national hero. But David knew the truth. He had not won this battle. I had won it through him. He was merely the instrument in my hands. This day, David began his journey from shepherd to king. I had chosen him not for his size or strength, but for his heart. I do not look at the things people look at. People look at outward appearance, but I look at the heart. David had the heart of a lion and the faith of a child. David would go on to become the greatest king of Israel. From his line would come the Messiah, the true giant killer who would defeat sin, death, and hell itself. Every giant you face in life, every fear, every obstacle can be overcome the same way David overcame Goliath. With faith in me, what giants are you facing today, beloved child? What seems impossible, too big to defeat? Remember David. Remember that the battle belongs to me. You don't need to be the biggest or the strongest. You just need to trust me. Pick up your stone. Face your Goliath. I am with you. Until we speak again.